Brad Supermoon in 3, 2. So you probably heard about the supermoon. I'm here to tell you that there's not that much. Take 2, 3, 2. So you probably heard about the supermoon, but here's the thing. The supermoon isn't so super. It's kind of a hyped up thing, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, it's also called the snow moon. You may have seen this. Now, here's the funny thing. During the calendar year, we've always had names for the full moons. These names go back to really some of the first Native American tribes of North America. They would name the full moons based on the time of year. Harvest moon, that was when the harvest was gone. The beaver moon, that was because that's when beavers were hunted. The wolf moon, that's when the wolves howled at the moon in the middle of the winter. And the snow moon is always the February full moon because that's when in North America we have the most snow on the ground. Now, the full moon is actually tomorrow morning, the 19th, or this morning when you're watching this at 8:53 a.m., but it actually rose on Monday night, and so most of us saw it during the overnight hours. So every February we're going to have a snow moon. That's nothing new, but you probably have heard about the supermoon phenomena. This has really come to prevalence in the last couple of years, and the reason that we call things supermoons and the reason the word came up is because the moon has an elliptical orbit around the Earth. It's not a perfect circle, so at times in the orbit the moon is closer to the Earth and it's farther away. This changes all the time because you can see this axis is always pivoting while we're rotating around the sun as well. But there's a certain time when the moon is very close to the Earth in that orbit. It's called perigee. That is what we call it scientifically. Now, an astrologer, not an astronomer, remember, an astrologer, that's a horoscope person. An astronomer is an actually scientist. Astrologer came up with the word supermoon, and for some reason, people love it. The other opposite of that is apogee. That's when it's really far away. Some people refer to this as the micromoon, but that's a made-up term as well. But here's the thing. Sometimes at perigee, the moon isn't full. It's actually a new moon, but it's still very close to the Earth. For some reason, we don't call that a supermoon, but for some reason, they call it when it's a full moon. So it's kind of a weird thing, but you need to understand that's the orbit and that's where the origin. These are the actual scientific terms for what's going on. Now, why isn't it so super? Well, because if I didn't tell you it was happening, you would have no idea. 2 pictures of the moon right here. The left is a normal moon. The one on the right is a supermoon. But you really can't tell the difference. You know what the difference is? Very little. It's only about 6% bigger. So 6% size, you really can't tell. And 16% brighter. Now, if I turned a light up in your house 16%, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't call it a super light. And if I filled up your drink 16% more, that wouldn't be a super size. So I'm not sure why we call it a supermoon when in reality, it's just a regular moon. It's a little bit closer to the Earth. But here's the thing. We had 2 this year already. We had one in January, one this month, but the next one isn't until next March. So if you want to go check it out tonight or early on Tuesday morning, go check it out. It's the perigee moon, or what some people like to term the supermoon, but in my opinion, it's not all that super.